5 players rejected by Arsenal Football Club. Arsenal love to let a good player go, don't they? How about the time Arsene Wenger wanted to sign every world-class football player back in 2005? Let's relive these old memories in this list of 5 players that were rejected by Arsenal for completely ridiculous reasons. At number 5, the French Mini Cooper N'Golo Kante. Known as the second Claude Makelele, or twins N'Golo and Kante, his rejection from Arsenal is a prime example embodying a what could have been narrative that still stings to this day. Arsene Wenger, the manager at the time, had 2 opportunities to sign Kante. The first was when Kante was playing in France's 2nd division with Cayenne. A deal looked pretty straightforward, with the midfielder on an affordable release clause, and all Arsenal had to do was pay it. Unfortunately, they backed out the deal, and Kante quickly moved to newly promoted Premier League side Leicester City in 2015. That season, Kante would prove Arsenal what they missed out on, as Kante lifted the Premier League title with Leicester City, finishing a full 10 points above Arsenal, and Kante playing a pivotal role in holding down the midfield as a destroyer for Leicester City. After the season, Arsenal would get a second opportunity to go after N'Golo, as he had yet another release clause, an affordable £32 million. However, they would be rivaled by Chelsea for Kante's signature. Ultimately, Arsenal didn't go through with the signing, and instead pursued Granit Xhaka. Their reason? Arsenal had backed out due to the outrageous agency fees that were requested, in the end totaling almost £10 million. It's okay though, since Kante were only going to win another Premier League, the Champions League, and, multiple FA Cups. Meanwhile, the 15-16 season will be the closest Arsenal will get to winning the Premier League title in recent years. Following in number 4, we've got Ruud Gullit. In hindsight, it should have been a no-brainer to sign Ruud Gullit some 30 years ago, but hindsight's never kind, is it? During the 90s, a young Gullit was playing for FC Haarlem in Holland, where he was managed by a buddy of Arsenal's assistant manager at the time. Haarlem were in dire financial trouble, but had the teenage prodigy Gullit up front. The manager of FC Haarlem offered him to Arsenal, who sent a coaching team to take a look at him. The verdict? He was lazy and undisciplined. Perhaps the match they watched wasn't one of Gullit's best games, but it was clear that he was talented and was available for a staggering £250,000. In fact, £80,000 would have been enough to secure his services, but Arsenal didn't want him. While Arsenal floundered on for several more unsuccessful years, Gullit started to rise. Gullit would go on to win a couple of European Cups, the Euros, and some Dutch and Italian championships. While Arsenal would get some domestic success, it's a good thing that scouting's come a long way from watching a couple of matches here and there. Otherwise, who knows who Arsenal could have missed out on next? Well, we've got a couple more in the tank. So, if you don't want to miss any more videos like how Arsenal missed out on these players, make sure to hit the subscribe button to get notified when we post. In number 3, the embodiment of Wales, golf, Madrid, Gareth Bale. It's time to add another one to the list of players Arsenal nearly signed with Gareth Bale. Let's set the scene. It was 2006, where Bale would just start his first full season with Southampton, playing as a left-back. Bale would carry Southampton to 6th place and a place in Championship semi-finals, where they would eventually lose to Derby. However, Bale scored 5 goals to cap off a good first season as a pro. His performances would catch the attention of Arsene Wenger, who would hesitate to sign him, as he was already content with the options he had in his position, notably Ashley Cole and Gael Clichy. However, there was a spark of hope, as the asking price for the Welshman was just a measly £5 million. But Arsenal would be too late, as after the 06-07 season, Gareth Bale would move to rival Tottenham Hotspur, where he would continue to get better and put up good numbers, before moving on to Real Madrid for a record transfer fee. Meanwhile, at Arsenal, it's actually getting quite tiring going back to what happened to Arsenal after this, but at least Arsene Wenger admitted his mistake in a later interview, saying, "I must confess, it was a huge mistake, as he can play in the field. Can't get him all right, can you, Arsene?" In at number 2, another Spurs favourite, Harry Kane. Here's a fun fact: Harry Kane used to play for Arsenal's academy when he was 8 years old. And actually, here's another one. He was released after just 1 season for being a bit chubby and not very athletic. Pretty scathing analysis for an 8-year-old, eh? Roy Massey, the former academy coach at the time, would say that Kane might have had a better future between the sticks and having saving goals rather than scoring them, but nothing ever materialised. So after being released by Arsenal, Kane would bounce around other youth academies, before eventually landing in Tottenham at the age of 11 in 2004. Perhaps it wasn't meant to be, as Harry Kane had grown up in a family full of Spurs fans, and Arsenal's decision would come to haunt them later. Kane would eventually become a regular 20-goal-a-season striker and fetch €100 million for Spurs. Kane's development into a top striker would be a testament to his resilience and work ethic, which inevitably weren't qualities Arsenal were looking for. The Gunners' famed academy would later produce stars such as Bukayo Saka and Emil Smith-Rowe. But perhaps it's a broader lesson that potential goes beyond looks. We're down to the last one. Any guesses who it is? Well, hold on, because this one might be the wildest of the bunch. And finally, our number one player that got rejected by Arsenal is Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Actually, we're pretty sure it was the other way round, as it was Zlatan who rejected Arsenal. Anyway, add another one to the almost signings by Arsene Wenger. After the 99 season at Malmo, Ibra's performances caught the eye of Arsene Wenger, who invited him to come to North London for a quick chat. The excitement was palpable for Zlatan, who found himself in awe of being in the same room as footballing legends he had only seen on TV or played with in video games. Arsene Wenger's first question to Ibra was, "What do you want?" As Wenger was seeking not just a player's skill, but understanding the person behind the talent. Everything was going well, until Wenger's second question, "Can you come and do a trial?" But of course, Zlatan, being Zlatan, responded with, "Zlatan doesn't do trials," and that was that. Arsenal chose not to pursue Zlatan, as he never went through with the trial. The fallout from the meeting is well documented. Ibrahimovic's refusal to participate in the trial marked the end of any potential deal with Arsenal. Ibra went on to achieve remarkable success across Europe's top leagues, going through clubs like Ajax, Inter Milan, Barcelona, PSG and Manchester United. A true football journeyman. Who knows what the partnership could have been with a Thierry Henry and Zlatan front duo, but unfortunately that would only have to live on FIFA or Football Manager. If only Arsenal had kept some of these players around, they might be deep into a 20-year dynasty right now. But unfortunately, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. If you enjoyed this list, let us know who was the worst one that Arsenal missed out on in the comments below.